but enough of them that there were clashes. Now, here's the larger picture of that, because people have been asking what's going on with Governor Mikey Sherrill, for example, who's a moderate Democrat. She asked New Jersey state police to go in and to keep the peace in around Delaney Hall, and they moved the protesters off, and they've tried to put barriers between the two protesters.
Shit, daddy bitches threw me in a mosh pit with no time. Told him I ain't take nothing back, that shit ain't no fun. She done did what he did, can't get that one return. But I got a gun up her roll and he got runs, okay. One minute from touching my toes, I ain't got nothing, no way, no way. But that style phone say, don't slow down, AI speed race. She keep playing phone games, bitch can't get no anyway.
Shit, what we think about that? What we think about that?
No, but in the south, so. Grew up riding with my cousin, with my brother, pistol talk, beach, boss, that is for top, go low, go low. They don't ask me how I did it, riches beaming out my city. Grew up with my cousin, meet you, bagel ride, fuck school and fuck the law, catch a high. Did it go high, brighten up the lights and just go slow, put on side, boom, boom, they go got him, bitch, that come straight from the dot. Yeah, soon as they slip, we gon' hit them with that chop, and they know that high. Pick it down, I'm known slime, hurricane, them both sides, fuck, he trying line, let that catch him, clown that nigga dry, don't know we gon' win. I tell that shit, young boy, you let him catch him. They say that you a fucking minute,
Shout out Space Kid. All right, one more song. One more song before we get started here. One more. What a Vato Loca. What's poppin', Ricky? What's poppin', Ricky? Shout out Space Kid for the jewels. Thank you, homie. Shout out Dun Daughter. Day 101 LFG shit. Come on now. We couldn't leave you guys hanging. I mean, we got things to talk about. So, we're going live. If there was nothing to talk about, I wouldn't have gone live. But I actually want to rediscuss the Sean Strickland topic. And then I also want to speak on Michael Bisping questioning Tom Aspinall. I think it'll be good. So we'll discuss some of these things. Maybe we'll go over Bryce Mitchell again. We'll see. We'll see. But one more tune. Can we do one more jam before we get started here? This one I've been banging. Or I don't even know if that's the word. But shit, I've been playing this one nonstop. We'll see. But one more tune. Can we do one more jam before we get started here? This one I've been banging. Or I don't even know if that's Hold on. Let's fix the double audio. But, shit, I've been playing this. Yeah, I've been playing this one nonstop. This one's fire. I think you guys might like it. Some of you guys.
I'm gon' drive my lamb. You can push the cool. Dress it up, popping out for the cam. They know just how I came through. It's VJ for a ride, I'ma say all the top. Okay, okay. Get his head took out, plan on with my top. Okay, okay. Ooh, I got that drink and I pour out the bottle. I got that BM, she come from Nevada. And with Haley, she come from the bottom. Pulling on jumping, I would've done choppers. Nigga, okay. I'm so fresh, don't need no stylist. I'm so hurt, can't hide my dress it up, still it ain't hiding the proof. Diamonds, they cover this mud to see the shit I've been through. Riding around with $250,000 inside my trunk, she won't drive my coupe. Fuck around, get you slumped, oh pussy nigga, I ain't worried about you. Not at all, wait till I ball, they can't tell shit to me. Pressing hell wrong, I've been locked down 3 years, 3 for 3. I bought this watch from the top, I got the hand with the spade. Yeah, I got that breakfast, black G-Way, and think about a whole new color getting made. Woo. She know that for a fact, she up in love with a killer. I guess my demeanor is showing way up, way more than you niggas. New Bugatti, it cost 3 million. She know I fuck with her, whatever, she don't know I'm with it. Your nigga belong in these divots. Change the prices, I'm talking about talking exquisite. I'm gon' drive my lamb. You can push the cool. Dress it up, popping out for the cam. They know just how I came through. It's VJ for a ride, I'ma say all the top. Okay, okay. Get his head took out, plan on with my top. Okay, okay. Ooh. I got that drink and I pour out the bottle. I got that BM, she come from Nevada. And with Haley, she come from the bottom. Pulling on jumping, I would've done choppers. Nigga, okay. I'm so fresh, don't need no stylist. I'm so hurt, can't hide my pain.
Shout out to the boys. You guys like that one? That's a banger, huh? That's a straight banger called Drive My Lamb by Youngboy. You know I only be playing the unreleased Youngboy. I'm just posting the link to the story so people can join the live. Shit, all I play is unreleased Youngboy. If it ain't unreleased, I don't want to hear it. Wait till I ball, they can't say shit to me. Smoking heroin. Been locked down 3 years, 3 for 3. What is up, my homies? What up, Easton? When I was a senior in high school, I kept a white rag on my rearview mirror of my car and was bumping Haystack, Jelly Roll, LOL, White, and all the white boys repping that CWB. Lil White. Shit, Frank, Ricky LaFleur, that's like, I don't even understand half of that, but shit, I'm with you. I'm with you. You rocking Jelly Roll back in the day? Shout out Jelly Roll. Honestly, I only know what I like, so I pretty much only know like Kodak Black, you know, Young Boy type shit. But I know Jelly Roll. More Rugrats. Shout out Tony Sal. What up, homie? The Canes just came back from 0-3 in the last period and we're going to OT in the NHL Finals. Oh, good shit. Good shit. Been bumping Jelly Roll since 2009. Oh, he's been around since 2009? I feel like he only got popular like 2 years ago. So I always thought that, like, I don't know. Hold up, hold up. Okay, let's just put this as it. Share anyway. Okay. All right. Before my phone dies, let's plug this bitch in and then let's get started. Well, let me just shut the door real quick. All right, all right, all right. I think we can get started. I was in preschool in '09. In '09, shit. Shout out Dun Daughter. Shout out Dun Daughter. Thank you for gifting the 5 membies, homie. Let's see who gets them. But one more time, big up to Dun Daughter. Thank you very much, homie. It's all love over here from me. And appreciation. Oh, shout out Ricky got a memby. Adriano, MMAK. Callie Thomas, Poof Pussy, Puffy Pussy. Oh, that's good. I just want to say, since Dundaughter gifted out some new membies, and it's like Dundaughter doesn't even have his own memby. It's crazy work. Somebody gift out some more membies so Dundaughter can get one. Congrats, new members. Yeah, shout out to you boys. We got some new emojis in the chat today, so if you guys want to use them up, they're kind of relevant. As you guys know, last night, right? Bryce Mitchell, we reacted to him doing the paying homage to Jesus Christ dying on the cross for our sins. So there's a new emoji for that of Bryce holding up the 3 nails. I mean, come on now. And then we also added in, let's see what we also added. We added a Ilya Topuria emoji because he's going to be fighting next week. Then we added a Justin Gaethje emoji. So we got the Gaethje emoji because this motherfucker's a sellout. We don't fuck with Gaethje. This dude's now called Gaethje. We're not even calling him Gaethje anymore. We call him Gaethje. And then I had one more I added called, Baldy White, Dana White. So anytime we're bitching about Dana, drop the Baldy White emojis. Gaethje's fighting next weekend too. Toporia's fighting next weekend too. Bryce with the 3 nails. That one's here to stay. That one's definitely here to stay. But Gaethje's my favorite one. Shout out to Strickland. Justin Gaethje, that little motherfucker. Justin Gaethje, that spineless motherfucker. He actually pisses me off low key. What did Justin Gaethje do, little bro, that made him so dumb as fuck? Gaethje's just dumb as fuck in general, and he just proved it once again, that he's just a dumb motherfucker. And he's like spineless too. And it's like, Gaethje, why don't you just pipe down? You're more of a self-serving idiot than anything else. Isn't that what I said? As a proof, Justin Gaethje is an idiot who only cares about himself. Yeah, Gaethje's just a straight self-serving idiot. That's why we call him Gaethje. He's just a self-serving idiot, bro. And we're about to get into it now. So let's, without further ado, let's speak about Gaethje. Let's speak about the title. Gaethje dumb as fuck. He's an idiot who only cares about himself. So let's speak about it. All right. Let's go through this whole thing in its entirety. Well, actually, we can maybe back up a little bit. We could back up. But before we back up, let's just start it off with this, okay? It all starts with this, right? We've been over this yesterday, but let's go over it again. Sean Strickland made headlines because he commented on some Instagram post, and he goes, UFC at the White House with Benjamin Netanyahu in the audience, straight Jew slop. Then somebody asks him and tags him, why are you banned? He goes, I made fun of Israel and Epstein, the only male American champ banned at the White House because I said Trump is owned by Benjamin Netanyahu. That's not public opinion, it's fact, okay? And then he also added this. He goes, I hope Benjamin Netanyahu goes to UFC 250. It will set the record for the loudest public shaming. So he does not fuck with Netanyahu. And, he believes that's why he's banned from attending UFC White House. He claims one of the higher-ups called him. If you want my guess, I think it was Hunter Campbell. Sean Strickland put in his request to attend UFC White House. Hunter Campbell called him and said, nah, homie, you can't come. I'm sorry. Hunter Campbell probably did the whole brother act with him, glazed him up while telling him no. But I think it was Hunter Campbell. Sean won't reveal it. But Sean did drop a video, quote unquote, fake apologizing for getting himself banned in the first place. But before we play that, let's go to Justin Gaethje, right? Because obviously fans were upset for Strickland on his behalf. So, Strickland, this guy, Brian Miller, goes, every American fighter going to this fight in the octagon or not should boycott the White House fights at Gaethje at Pereira, right? The headliner and the co-headliner. Gaethje goes, shut the fuck up, loser. Keep my name out of your mouth. This guy goes, well, I was rooting for you, but I didn't realize you were a MAGA retard. And then Gaethje goes, I'm American, bitch. I don't need or want a coward support. You and Sean are relentlessly dumb as fuck. And, right here, just being like, I'm American, bitch. It's like, oh, man, like, I don't want to get too much into it now, but this just, just Gaethje being like, I'm American. Like, bro, we're all fucking American, you stupid motherfucker. That's part of the reason why you're dumb as fuck. We're all American, bro. You're more American than us because you don't question shit like a sheep. I mean, that makes you like anti-American if you ask me. That's the opposite of what America stands for, is just sitting back and taking it up the ass, you know? So then obviously Strickland chimes in because he's getting called relentlessly dumb as fuck. Keep in mind, you know, I'm calling Gaethje dumb as fuck, but Gaethje started this shit. Gaethje's the one who opened up this door, and it's just funny because Gaethje's actually the one who's dumb as fuck. And I'm going to prove it to you guys. He's also self-serving. It's both with Gaethje. He's dumb as fuck and he's self-serving. But it's like, if being a spineless bitch makes you a good American, you can have that title. Eat your goy slop. Just do me a favor and switch your flag to Israel. $5K to $15K cost to every American, to every hardworking American, not getting paid millions. 13 dead Americans for Israel. Traitor. Exactly why I said it, bro. You're not more American because you just chill out for you know, the US and without questioning it. We're all American. Gaethje or Ali Abdelaziz responds back and he goes, I don't give two shits about you or Israel. God, family, country since day one. You know, all these things like God, family, country sounds good. Sounds good. But, you know, can we go into explaining things? Because God, family, country doesn't justify, quote unquote, injustices, you know, proxy wars, you know, putting our soldiers out in Iran, risking their lives, you know, 13 Americans dying for Israel, right? This is not God, family, country since day one. That you're just a fucking spineless bitch, bro, and it pisses me off actually. And I didn't realize all this last night, so that's why I'm going over it again. Because, you know, I was kind of like reading it for the first time last night. But Gaethje with these statements, you know, I'm American first. What do you say? Or I'm an American, you know, God, family, country since day one. It's like, bro, you just like repeat rhetoric. You don't even like have an opinion for yourself. Then he goes, you are dumb as fuck. You bash our country every chance you get and expect to step foot on the White House grounds, have a party with the rest of your American hating goons. It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to me because all the people he's classifying as American haters, you know, I would argue that they love the US and they hate what it's turned into. But Gaethje wouldn't know anything about that, would he? Then Strickland responds again and he goes, quote unquote, you hate America. Did your handle give you that line? I love America and criticize the administration because everyone on this earth understands he is controlled by AIPAC. Iran will have nukes next month 20 years ago. Quote, I have the list on my desk. Just stop. You know, same old excuses on why we need to invade Iran when it's not true, right? It's just not true. They have the ability to enrich uranium, but they can't be making these fucking missiles and shit like that. They're not, you know, 2 months away from making missiles and to the point where we have to invade them. It's not the case. That was the same story 20 years ago, like Strickland's trying to say. But again, Gaethje wouldn't know nothing about that, right? Because he's a spineless shill, bro, and he only cares about himself. The only reason why Gaethje's even like talking about this is because maybe he gets pay-per-view points, maybe because he's on the card. But I'm going to prove to you guys that like Gaethje doesn't even care about this topic. He's only speaking out because it involves him. You know, and that's why he's just a fucking bitch, bro. And yeah, I'm talking spicy, but whatever. Strickland adds more. When Justin leaves the room, we all look at each other and think, damn, we really need to spar less. Man can't even get through a sentence, and now he's explaining to me, I hate America because I don't support 15K Trump tax on families because of the Israeli war. Insane. It's like, bro, it is insane. It is insane. And then Strickland goes, I mean, he started this LOL, but hey, man, there was a time when I was a good goy as well. And then here's one more that Sean Strickland said, because he adds, you know, once more. I mean, he actually does think maybe it does have to do with his Trump comments now. But, I mean, we'll just hear this out real quick. Because he said initially he thinks it's Israel, but now let's see what he says.
In the Situation Room saying we can't have Sean. I don't think Trump knows about this. I think his administration probably is making all the shots and they're like, fuck Sean, we're not going to do this. And like, dude, I'm fucking cool with it. And you guys, to be fair, I don't think Trump is saying in the Situation Room saying we can't have Sean. I don't think Trump knows about this. I think his administration probably is making all the shots and they're like, fuck Sean, we're not going to do this. And like, dude, I'm fucking cool with it. And you guys, to be fair.
So yeah, Gaethje doing all that. I just think he's goofy as hell. And then like keep in mind, right? Keep in mind that Gaethje's the same dude who was complaining before his fight with Paddy Pimblett that he hadn't renegotiated his contract after the Paramount deal got signed with the UFC. He's like, I'm not getting paid $1 more for this fight. I think it's bullshit. The injustices, blah, blah, blah. Talking about his fighter pay, right? As he's out the door, as he's about to leave. Now he's more worried about fighter pay. Now he's speaking about it a bit more. Then, Dana White gets asked about it, like, oh, Gaethje didn't get to renegotiate his contract before, this Paddy Pimblett fight on the new Paramount era, the first fight on the Paramount era. And Dana's like, yeah, we did. Maybe he should speak to his manager about it because we did offer something. Gaethje never got back to us. So again, just proof, like Gaethje dumb, gets a contract extension, new deal worked out, doesn't even respond, just straight ghost Dana when he's trying to give him more money. And then on top of that, it's like bro's complaining, about fighter pay as he's on his way out, right? As he's on his way out, he's like, I have only made this much money. I should have more, blah, 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 blah. Well, this is also the same dude, who Ally Quinta approached and said, hey, man, let's corner the UFC. Let's make the UFC book us against each other, but let's also make them pay us by leveraging, against them. They leverage against us all the time. Let's team up and leverage against them. Say we won't fight anyone else but each other. Okay, so lock ourselves out and then say this is how much money we want. You know what Gaethje says? Gaethje goes, sorry, homie. I'm already getting paid what I want. That's on you. You go figure it out for yourself. It's like, bro, Gaethje's just a fucking, like, he's just a bitch, bro. Gaethje's just low-key a bitch. And that kind of stuff I don't fuck with. Like, you're going to start off and, like, not be for fighter pay because you're getting a little lump sum. And then you're going to be the same guy as your career is winding down. You got, like, 2 to 3 fights left. You're going to be the same guy bitching about the fact that you didn't get your lion's share when, throughout your whole career. Maybe if you would have started off with listening to Ally Quinta's idea, you would have got a little bit more of your lion's share. But you're over here just being self-serving. And so, like, what, you speak about fighter pay now just because you didn't get shit? It's not because of all the other fighters. You're not speaking on behalf of everything else. You're just speaking for yourself. Everything that you speak about is, like, self-serving. Who's to say that you're not just speaking about this shit that Sean Strickland's drawing attention to because you're the main event and you worked out pay-per-view points on your deal? Now you're trying to sell the fight because you're also over here talking mad shit on Ilya, saying Ilya's dumb as fuck too, basically. Or no, you're saying I would have left Ilya too. Not that Ilya's dumb as fuck, but saying I would have left Ilya too. Speaking about his wife that just recently filed for divorce against him or something. Ilya never said shit about you, especially about you personally or your family life. All he speaks about is him being a better fighter than you. You go ahead and you say, yeah, I don't really fuck with Ilya. He's a whatever the case. I wouldn't even fuck. I would have left him too. Have you seen the guy? Have you heard the guy? Guy's insufferable. So I'm just saying all that to say, who's to say? Who knows why Gaethje's being the way he's being? But none of it makes sense. And none of it ever makes sense. It doesn't make sense why he denied Ally Quinta to leverage against the UFC and book a favorable fight for the fans and get their lion's share that they deserve. Right? That didn't make sense. Doesn't make sense that he tells the media guys, oh, I didn't get to rework my deal for the Paramount debut. The promotional debut on the Paramount era. I didn't work out my new deal. Dana says, bro, we sent you a contract. You never fucking responded, you idiot. Now this guy's saying Sean Strickland anti-American because he's actually sticking up for Americans. Like, this guy's a fucking idiot. And if you listen to this guy, he's going to steer you nowhere because he has no moral compass other than for himself. And that's why he's dumb as fuck, bro. That's why he's dumb as fuck. Nobody should listen to this guy. This guy just spews fucking bullshit. Straight bullshit this guy spews. Only speaking for himself, on behalf of himself, only self-serving. Sean Strickland's over here getting banned from White House, throwing away sponsorships, you name it. Saying what he needs to say, throwing away millions of dollars essentially. And it's like, yeah, bro. Gaethje just kind of Don't listen to a word this guy says because he means none of it. And it's only to serve himself. I'm just going to say it like that one more time. One more time. Calling fucking Sean Strickland dumb, anti-American. Bro, you're dumb. And in fact, you're probably anti-American, if anything. Here's another thing I wanted to say, and I've said this before, but it's like anybody who be fucking like, you know, arguing with like, even like, let's say you're a Republican and you argue and shit like that with Democrats. I'm just letting you know that like you're like a puppet. You're doing what they want you to do. Like it's more so us against them. It's their duty to make sure our lives are good. I'm talking about the government and shit like that. You know, the president. It's Republicans and Democrats against them, bro. Their duty is to us. You know, yet Gaethje is over here bitching at Strickland when Strickland is literally, you know, speaking on behalf of us. Hardworking Americans, the taxpayers, the people who the government have the duty to. So like, just understand, I think a lot of people always want to like argue with the left and the right, and they're arguing amongst each others. At the end of the day, you guys are citizens, and then there's the government. Us citizens, in my opinion, should stop arguing with each other, bro. You know, it's about holding the government accountable, which Sean is trying to do, and then Gaethje calls him dumb. You know, all because Gaethje's the main event of this fight and he's trying to sell more tickets. I'm just trying to tell you guys, you know, if you base your moral compass off of Gaethje, you're going to wake up one day and feel like a fucking idiot. You know, you're going to wake up one day and feel like a fucking idiot, basing your morals off of Gaethje. If you sit around and be like, I'm America first, I'm American like Gaethje, God, family, you know, country. You know, I'm an American like Gaethje. Yeah, go ahead and do that. And you know, maybe 6 months from now, you're going to wake up feeling dumb as fuck. So, yeah, bro, Gaethje's a dumb motherfucker. And he only cares about himself. Which is what makes him partially dumb. You know, that's partially what makes his ass dumb. And then, you know, just speaking about it, I mean, we don't have to play the video necessarily. But it's like the whole protesting angle from this earlier, because the guy goes like, everybody should protest the White House, right? Should boycott the White House fights. You know, Sean Strickland, he also had a similar thing that he was saying. And he goes, I got the call. UFC higher-ups called me. They said I'm not Israeli enough to go to UFC 250, Israel edition. I already bought my plane ticket. We're fucking going. I'm going to bring the belt. I'll get a big fucking bullhorn and go right up to the gates. We're going to do a peaceful protest. So, you know, boycott the event, peaceful protest. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. But that's the whole story. That's the whole story. And Gaethje's just a dumb motherfucker. Now I'll read out chats. Now I will read out chats. So wait, should we look at Strickland's story real quick just to see if there's anything on there? Just reposting Bryce Mitchell. Okay, yeah, this is what I was going to show too. So I guess, I don't know, Strickland thinks that maybe, you know, speaking about Ghislaine Maxwell and Trump and Epstein is what got him banned. Ghislaine Maxwell getting work released. Government is fucking compromised. Motherfucker, this better be some long game where a massive fucking list is made with receipts or Trump effed kids. This can only mean two things. So, maybe this is the tweet that got him banned. But it does involve him speaking on Israel if it involves Epstein. And then Strickland says, explain this to me.
Maxwell, she goes.
Hold on.
And how do you get mad at me for just asking fucking questions, right? Like, so Maxwell, she goes, she gives some bullshit testimony. The only thing she says is Trump didn't do it. And then the next day, dude, this bitch is like in a minimum security prison. She has a room. She gets work. It's a real nice prison. And like, mind you, this isn't a guy who like stole a candy bar. A woman that stole a candy bar. I mean, like, she sex traffics kids all over the fucking world. I'm sure people have died because of her. And she goes out and testifies and says that Trump didn't do it. And now, like, she gets the E ticket to a nice prison. Like, it's fucking crazy, man. how do you get mad at me for asking questions? And how do you get mad at me for just asking?
I'll vote no, corruption at the highest level. And that brings up one more thing. Because I think Jew said, I'm waiting for Sean to call out Justin for having Ollie as his manager, who's a terrorist rat. So it's like, that's what I mean, though, right? It's like Gaethje says he's America first, right? So let me just show you guys this one. Gaethje says America first. He's America. He's an American, bitch. That's what he said, right? I'm an American. Okay. Okay, Gaethje American, right? Also Gaethje. You know, meanwhile, Justin Gaethje's manager type shit. You know, I'm American, bitch. Meanwhile, Justin Gaethje's manager. Boom. So it's just like, and why does Gaethje have this dude as his manager? For the most casual fans out there, you know, Gaethje got this dude as his manager because he's the biggest, like, good boy of the UFC. Because fucking Ollie's the biggest good boy of the UFC. You know, the number one cocksucker in the UFC. You know, Ali Abdelaziz. Probably, arguably the most spineless manager that exists. He's the most compromised. So, you know, I just want to put that out there. Just understand the contradiction there. Gaethje's an American. Gaethje loves America. You know, also Gaethje's fucking manager, Ali Abdelaziz. You know, the whole 9/11 bullshit got like pulled off of a plane and shit like that. You know, visas revoked. These are the stories about Ali. But not only that, it's like, so why would he? So with all those things being said, right? The connections, getting pulled off of planes, having getting visas revoked. I think he had like 12 different visas on him. You know, so it's like, why would Gaethje want him as his manager? Oh, well, because Gaethje really got no morals and he's just serving, you know, he's just self-serving. Once again, he doesn't give a fuck about anything, actually. He has no morals. He's just self-serving. And Ali Abdelaziz has the most ins of any manager for the UFC. Does that make sense to you? Why would Gaethje want to do business with a guy like Ali with all that stuff being said and him being an American, him being God, religion, country? You know, is Ali Abdelaziz a Christian or is he a Muslim? You know, God, I'm assuming you mean Jesus Christ. I don't want to say his name in vain. I take that back. I'm assuming you mean Jesus Christ, Gaethje. In fact, Ali Abdelaziz on paper stands against everything you stand for. God, religion, country, or God, family, country. Two of those boxes he don't check. He not American first, and he sure as hell isn't Jesus first. And not to say that's a bad thing. You could be whatever you want. But Gaethje is spineless, and I'm just pointing that out, that he doesn't give a shit about anything. Don't ever listen to this guy. I never said to boycott the White House card, Ro. I never said boycott the White House card. It's all good. I'm not going to boycott it either. But, you know, that's the story. And then Space Kid said, shout out Space Kid, by the way. Homie Space Kid, 2-month member, you know, here every night. Shout out Space for using the special message thing for the members. I like when you guys do this. And I'll give you guys the special shout out like I'm doing right now. But yeah, Space Kid goes, gotta love these type of streams, man. Shit. Can you guys believe that we had to go 100 days until you got one of these streams? I feel like I haven't crashed out like this in a minute. It's like the second the 100-day streak ended, you guys got the old me back. It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Tiki Gosen, worst TBH, Ali will at least get motherfuckers paid. That's a fair statement, Jew. That's a fair statement. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll up real quick and speed read some chats, see what you guys are saying. Ricky says, chill, bro. We still like Gaethje, and he's gonna slime out the little brown guy. Is he? Justin talking wild on X. Double World says read chat. Bro, Tuxedo goes, bro, I'm locking in, and the amount of dishes and grocery shopping is nuts, but fuck it, we getting Perry lean. Shout out Tuxedo. Let's get lean, homie. Let's get lean, big dog. The amount of dishes and grocery shopping is nuts. It is nuts. It is nuts, homie. It is kind of crazy, Tux. I won't lie to you. It's expensive and shit. I think that money's the last thing you're worried about. But dishes and grocery shopping is kind of crazy. I will say though, an underrated comment. I will say, or an underrated like perspective, but it's something I've noticed. If you're actually like eating healthy and like cutting weight, so to speak, there's actually not that many dishes, bro, because you're only eating like a few meals in the day. Like you're not over here making these like big old crazy ass meals with like 10 different pots and pans. You feel me? Like, so actually when you're dieting, it's contrary to popular belief, there's actually is less dishes when you're dieting. Consider it like this. Would there be more dishes when you're bulking or dieting? You know? And like essentially sometimes what I'm speaking about is like if I'm not dieting, I'll be eating food late at night, like till midnight and shit, but I'm piling up dishes doing that. Versus like if I'm dieting, I'll stop eating at like 8 or 9 p.m., and like no more dishes and shit. So yeah, just shout out to Tuxedo Mask. Member Tuxedo. If you got any questions, homie, just run it by me. I got you. It's the least I could do. Jew says, we like Gaethje, but he got to get called out. Yeah, he does. Rover says, what's going on, bub? I think you figured it out. Jew says, Topuria has shitted on Gaethje a couple times, though. Rover says, chill, he's yapping. Yeah, I'm yapping, homie. I was yapping. Topuria did shit on Gaethje, but not bad, I don't think. Gaethje's getting very personal and shit. Saint Feinheim says, I'm back. Shit, homie, where you been? Jew says, Perry, big bro, I took his advice on the macros tracking and keeping fats under 60 grams, and it's been working. Shit, let's go, Jew, let's go. I actually helped out my other homie the other day. I gave him like his little macro tracking routine as well. I swear, it's like a hobby of mine. I just be doing it for free. I'm glad it's working out, though, Jew. And I would say, too, no, actually, I don't want to bring it down. 60 grams of fat is good. I was going to say you could push it to 70 if you want to, but nah, keep rocking with the 70, homie. If you want the best results, keep rocking with the 60. I feel like I just misspoke there. Keep rocking with the 60. But I put my homie on 70 grams fat. And I'm currently rocking the 60 grams fat, by the way. So we on the same page. Gaethje is just building the fight, but he's throwing paint at walls. Yeah, he is. I'm waiting for Sean to call out Justin for having all he has. Okay, we read that one. We all known he's stupid. Now he's just stupid and patriotic. He's not even patriotic. He's actually the opposite. He's just a sheep. Otto says, I agree. You shouldn't be offended about freedom of speech and somebody expressing themselves through the speech because, again, it's just a speech. It may have old truth, but that's what freedom of speech is. Separate us from different countries because we were able, but that's what freedom of speech separates us from different countries because we are able to speak about half of the things most countries are not able to speak on their own. Well said, Otto. Well said. Well said. And that's why Gaethje's like anti-American, if anything. One more time. Jew says, I don't know. Strickland said he didn't want to go at first. Now he's mad he can't. This whole White House thing's stupid. I'm sure a shitload of others got banned from it too. They're going to be super strict with this event. If I could be honest, I do think Strickland maybe just created this out of like thin air. I do think there might be an aspect of that, Jew, where like Strickland even spoke too soon. And like, there's a little bit of that aspect going around. But with that being said, Gaethje said what he said in response to Strickland. And this is mostly about, Gaethje's response to Strickland. If you guys can't tell, right? It's not even about like, justice for Strickland getting banned from White House was yesterday's news. Today's news is just that Gaethje's dumb as fuck and spineless as well and only self-serving. So, but yeah, I do think there's an aspect of like Strickland talking too soon. Even the fact of him walking it back and kind of being like, okay, maybe I did get banned from White House because of comments I made about Trump and not Israel. We don't know, but he did say Trump effed, the youth, so to speak, and that's crazy. Space Kid says, bro, with the dead emoji. How's Noah? I'd rather these motherfuckers be fighting in Macau or France. Bro, Perry, I'm totally against this shit, but I can't boycott the White House card, bro. I know. I'm not asking you to. Gaethje will get his lights turned off by Topuria. That's what I think will happen. Roro says, Yo, Easton, #1 Joey supporter. You get MMA girls digits. Ali's got his money. Shout out America First. What's poppin', homie? Terrace Mad Rat, never speak about me. How's Noah? Shout out to McGreg. You can let it out now, Brandon. 99 cents sucks. I ain't letting shit out about fucking my boy Buck. That's my man's right there, America First. You know it. Ricky says cooking eggs and toast right now and just had white rice. I mean, honestly, not a bad meal. Not a bad meal. White rice is my favorite. I was in jail and then I kind of didn't use YouTube much. Shit, Saint Fine has. What happened, homie? You good? You know I'm not judging, homie. You could have done anything. I'd be riding by you. You know, I'd be riding by you. As long as it wasn't something fucking insane. But Saint Fine has, can you share what the fuck did you get locked up for, homie? Yeah, what'd you go for, LMAO? Yeah, what happened? Shit, shout out to Jew and Roro for sending some jewels. Much appreciated, boys. Much appreciated. Damn, Saint Fine has got fucking locked up. Homie was incarcerated. Everybody run up the likes on the stream real quick. Run up the likes on the stream real quick. DV, but the case was dropped. Haha. Damn, Fine has. I was hoping it wasn't going to be something like that. I was hoping, but shit, I don't know your situation in the slightest, so I'm going to leave it alone. It was dropped. It was dropped. You know? I was hoping when I say I'm riding with you no matter what, I was like, ah, shit, I hope it's not something like that. But shit, Saint Fine has. I'm going to stick to my word. I ain't judging. Welcome back, homie. And I hope, you know, at least things are kind of like settled down with all that. That boy pulled a John John. Of all things, bro, it had to be that. That's crazy. DV. All right, Saint Fine has. We're going to stop gaslighting. Let's leave you alone. Okay, so here's the other topic of the day, you know, the other big topic of the day. Paul Felder and Michael Bisping questioned Tom Aspinall's 7-month layoff from fighting after suffering a fight-ending double eye poke. You know, and here's a quote from Bisping. Bisping said, or actually, let me read you both of them. Tuxedo, thank you for $2 donut. Says, Perry, a mean motherfucking servant of God. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be on my Jesus shit, bro. I'm trying to be a soldier of God, a servant of God. It's fucking, you know, I'm trying. I love Jesus and that will never change. Actually, you know, Bryce Mitchell really contextualized things for me last night. Just a side note. It's like, you know, I always kind of spoke about like, yeah, you know, Jesus will forgive you for your sins, yada, yada, yada. So you can kind of like commit sins and it's a part of growing up and it's not that serious. But it's like, bro, if you take the time, I didn't know how Jesus died on the cross for our sins. You know, I didn't know how he died on the cross for our sins. And now it hits different. Now I'm like really guilty about committing sins and shit like that because, bro, like that is insane what he did for us, right? So that we could be forgiven for our sins and, you know, end up going to heaven essentially. So I don't know, man. After hearing about that stuff, I was like, damn, that is pretty that is pretty crazy, man. And like I say again, the way Jesus died, let me just put it like this. I didn't know this, so I'm just going to say it again. The way Jesus died on the cross for our sins, bro, sinning should not be taken for granted. You know, it should not be taken for granted. Yeah, he died on the cross for our sins, but that's such a heavy price that he had to pay for us to be able to be forgiven for that shit. And then for us to just fucking throw it away and just not give a shit and be like, oh, I could just commit a sin because he died for me. Bro, you know the story behind how he died for you? And I'm just telling you guys the thoughts in my head right now. You know, I'm not trying to gaslight anyone. I'm actually gaslighting myself. But yeah, that's some of the realest shit you'll hear from me right there. And Bryce Mitchell, you know, I'm like, damn, bro. Because you guys know I've been on record saying, shit, you could just pray and your sins will be forgiven. But it's like, oh, man. And shit, I'm not saying I'm never going to make my sins again, but I'm just, you know, at least I recognize, bro. Maybe one of these days I'll fix myself, but. Oh, thank you for the other $2 dono Tux. He says, you just have to have faith. DV is crazy, though. Yeah. I know. St. Finance says they will lock you up without evidence. LMAO. I mean, that is true. So that's why I'm not going to speak on it. You know, I got you. Oh, Easton, no worries, homie. No worries. I would never punish you for getting a woman's digits. In fact, I would encourage it. St. Finance goes, if a dumb woman accuses you of domestic violence, be prepared to get locked up if you're drunk. Oh, shit. Okay. I would probably just dip. That's good advice, though. If you're drunk and she's calling the cops, bro, you got to dip out of there quick. Jew goes, damn, bro, Christ pilling me even more. Nah, I know though, right? I know that shit's heavy. That shit's heavy. To think about Jesus on the Christ every time you're about to sin is crazy. I'm gonna try to goon and think about that shit. I know, right? Bro, I've been low key thinking about that shit today. Cause I keep making the post about Bryce Mitchell. And I'm like, damn, bro. Otto says, just know, even if you get baptized, the fight never ends because you always got to fight because the fight never ends. Shit, like a straight poet, Otto. Like a straight poet. Shout out my man's Otto. Memby Otto. Much love, homie. Much love. Member for 1 month, Otto. Otto, a true poet. Let me read that shit again. Just know, even if you get baptized, the fight never ends because you always got to fight. Because you always got to fight because the fight never ends. It was so good he had to say it twice. My man Otto. That's a great comment. Because people do think that. They think that getting baptized, now you're good. You're not good. To think about Jesus. Oh, I already read those ones. St. Finance goes, I will show you my case if you want. Haha, I didn't even get a no contact order. I'm not a bad guy. Oh, St. Fine has, like I said, homie, I'm not judging you. I got my mind. It's like a 50-50, but, you know, I'm going to lean towards the fact that you're in a bad situation and you didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to lean towards that way. Roro says, Justin, quote unquote, I would have left him to Ilya. Who's Stu? Let's see if we get another one of those moments. We'll see. Okay, so back to this topic, though. Right, back to this topic. So, you know, Paul Felder and Bisping, they're calling into question Aspinall's 7-month layoff after his fight-ending double eye poke against Cyril Gane last October. October 25th, to be exact. Okay, so he hasn't been back in like 7 months. 7 months in about like 10 or 11 days. So Paul Felder started this topic off, and Paul goes, it just seems like that whole situation with Cyril Gane got him real bitter, got him real angry. I don't know, man. It feels like he got real big, real quick, and now he just thinks he's above and beyond fighting in the UFC. It's like, dude, you haven't really fought much in 3 years. And then Bisping goes, I had a surgery. It was a very, very serious surgery. It's called, I couldn't hear the name of it, but it's an eye surgery. And he goes, look it up online. It's gross what they do to the eyeball. I don't know what he had, but he hasn't talked about that. I had that surgery, recovered, came back, and had a fight in a shorter amount of time than what it's taken this whole eye poke saga. So, you know, I will say, like, if fucking Bisping's talking about this eye poke, I think it's worth listening to. Right. If Bisping's calling into question the eye poke, I believe it is worth listening to. So, I don't got much to say about it because, you know, for me, yeah, Aspinall did get done dirty by Cyril Gane. At the same time, I don't know what's going on with Aspinall. I think that Paul Felder is onto something. He got real mad, real bitter, real angry. And he also his name grew. And I don't know. I think a combination of that has him just thinking he's like Paul Felder said, above and beyond fighting in the UFC. And it's like Paul Felder. Damn, I didn't know my take was just like Paul Felder's. But it's like exactly how Paul Felder put it. You haven't really done shit, bro. You haven't really done shit. And that's Paul Felder, the guy who doesn't have an eye injury, right? I'm siding with him too. And I'm definitely siding with Bisping because he said he had a gnarly eye surgery, worser than Tom Aspinall from what I've heard. He had it recovered and returned in a sooner time than Tom Aspinall. Let's put it like this. I don't know how long was Bisping's layoff from the Dan Henderson fight. Let's see, because we're saying 7 months, right? But yeah, for the record, Paul Felder and I have the exact same take. That's the thing. And I guess even rightfully so, because it's like, why would I have the same take as Bisping when I don't have the same experience with eye injuries? So Bisping. Okay, I'm just like losing my shit. Bisping. Okay, so Bisping, right? After he got his eye broken by Dan Henderson. Yeah, look at that, bro. Oh, he returned a year and a half later, basically. Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. Are you kidding me, bro? Dang, Bisping basically lost his eyesight in that Dan Henderson knockout and returned in November the same year. And finished his opponent. July, August, September, October, November. Bisping returned 4 months later after he got his eye fucking destroyed by Dan Henderson. All right, so I actually don't want to hear much. This is just pure truth, though. Oh shit, is that what happened? Shit, look at me. Wait, no, he didn't. Let's look it up. Who made Michael Bisping lose his eye? Oh. Former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping lost the vision in his right eye due to a severe detached retina caused by a kick from Vitor Belfort during their fight. Okay. That one's my bad. Vitor Belfort. Again, though. Head kick and punches, right? January of 2013. Roro, don't tell Bobby Perry. Roro, you came in, you said you had something to say today. You got anything to say, Roro? I saw your comment earlier. I was dying at it. Anyway, Vitor Belfort, right? Happened in January of 2013. Bisping returned in April of 2013 after straight losing his eye. Straight losing it. Then he took a year off after the Alan Belcher fight and returned against Tim Kennedy a year later. Bisping pulled out of Mark Munoz fight in October due to an eye injury. So it's like Bisping lost his eye, detached retina against Vitor Belfort, returned 3 months later against Alan Belcher, won, and then was still dealing with eye complications and had to pull out of his October scheduled bout against Mark Munoz, and then returned, the following year in April. So between his fight in 2014 against Tim Kennedy And Alan Belcher 2013, that was a full year. A few days less than a year. Like 11 months and 2 weeks. But still, Bisping's better than Aspinall. You know, just consider it like this. Bisping got a detached retina against Vitor Belfort and returned in 3 months. Aspinall, he already came out with his eye injury. It's Brown syndrome. It's not even worse than a detached retina. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Aspinall got some explaining to do, and my take is very similar to Paul Felder's. I do think I'm gonna say it one more time. I agree with everything Felder said. I think Aspinall got bitter and angry at the situation. I think he also got real big, real quick for doing a lot of nothing, right? And I do think he feels he's above and beyond fighting in the UFC now to some degree, And then just a reminder once again, how could you ever feel like you're above and beyond fighting in the UFC when you really haven't done nothing? Your biggest claim to fame is the fact that John Jones ducked you. Nobody knows what you've done aside from John Jones ducking you. Let's watch it.
It feels like he got, and again, I haven't talked to Tom. I don't know this, but it just seems like that whole situation with Cyril Gahn got him real bitter, got him real angry. I don't know, man. It feels like his head got real big real quick, and now he just thinks he's above and beyond fighting in the UFC. And it's like, dude, you haven't fought really much in 3 years.
I got to choose my words carefully here, but he just said he's still not clear to fight. But he's been very vague with the details.
Yeah.
Very vague with the details, you know. If I wasn't cleared, because he's got a YouTube channel, he posts content all the time. You'd talk about it, you know, the procedures that he had, the operations, whatever they were. I had a surgery. It was a very, very serious surgery. It's called sclerobuckle. Look it up online. It's gross what they do to the eyeball.
It feels like he got, and again, I haven't talked to Tom.
I don't know what he had, but he hasn't talked about that. I had that surgery, recovered, came back, and had a fight in a shorter amount of time than what it's taken this whole eye poke saga. You know,
it stinks, Michael. It stinks.
I don't say it stinks. I mean, it's as a guy, I know Tom. We used to have a close relationship. We don't talk these days. He was a great guy, but I don't just maybe. I don't know. You look between the lines. There's something fucking weird going on. That's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like.
That's what I'm saying. Thanks.
I'll probably get a text now.
Hey, maybe this is all it took. Talk a little negatively, and but hey, you're just telling the truth, and we all are, right?
Motherfucker. Motherfucker, that's terrible. That's terrible. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. I can't even, you guys know what happens when this happens, when I do something like this. Now I gotta like recall everything I've been saying. All right, let me say it again. It just seems like fucking so Bisping and Tom Aspinall, they don't got a relationship no more. I'm gonna say it again. I got it back. Bisping and Aspinall, they don't got a relationship no more. You know, Bisping saying, me and Aspinall, we used to talk, we used to be close. You know, we don't speak anymore. So now Bisping not gonna hold his tongue, not gonna bite his tongue about Aspinall's eye injury. I was gonna say, you know, before I watched this video, Aspinall's not gonna like this because Aspinall is gonna be like, you could have just called me. But apparently, you know, Aspinall hasn't been returning Bisping's calls. Felder, it's also funny because Felder confirms that, you know, Bisping and Aspinall and the relationship is basically done, apparently. Because Felder being like, yeah, I bet you now with the negativity, you know, now he'll respond to you. Now you'll get a text. And I'm just saying, you know, all you guys are the same. Felder, you too. Bisping, you too. We could glaze you guys up all we want. You cracked the code, Felder. You did. That is the truth. We could glaze you guys up all you want. You'll never hear us. You'll never respond to us. The second we got something negative to say about you, oh, here come the big bad wolf down the street. You know, here come the big bad wolf coming to correct me, telling me I'm wrong. But you know, welcome to the show. Welcome to the game. That's how it works. You guys don't respond to the positivity anyway, and I guess Tom Aspinall's no different. But yeah, Felder did crack the code. They probably will get a text from Aspinall now, I would imagine. But it's also kind of funny, like Aspinall doesn't want to. Aspinall goes on Ariel's show multiple times since his eye surgeries, right? Since his eye injury in the last 7 months, hasn't spoke to Bisping once. Bisping not only a UK champion, but Bisping would tell anyone who would listen that Tom Aspinall was the second coming of Jesus. You know, with that UK connection, right? With the belief in Aspinall as well. And then it's like, not only that, right? But Bisping lost an eye in fighting. You would think that you would want Bisping in your corner, a man to confide in, at least more than Ariel. But this dude, he don't fuck with Bisping no more. He don't like Bisping no more. Something happened. Bisping not biting his tongue now. You know, I guess he's been ghosted by Tom Aspinall for a hot little minute. Why? I would love to know. I would love to know. Bisping, like I said, he got the eye problem. He's a former UK champion, right? I think the first one ever. And on top of that, you know, he used to glaze up Aspinall for anyone who would listen. So, and once again, I do agree with everything Felder said, right? Just to conclude it. It's like Felder says, Aspinall got bitter after the Cyril Gane eye poke, you know, and real angry. I agree. I do think he got real bitter, real angry. You know, Felder goes, he got real big, real quick, right? I agree. He got real big, real quick from doing nothing, from barely doing anything. His biggest claim to fame is that, you know, John Jones ducked him. Aside from that, what has Tom Aspinall done? So, like, yeah, I do think he got real big, real quick. And now I do think, again, I agree with Felder. I do think he believes he's above and beyond fighting in the UFC to some degree. Maybe not 100% blanket statement he's beyond fighting in the UFC, but I believe to some degree Aspinall feels he's elevated above fighting in the UFC. And it's like, again, right, to finish it how it kind of started or in the middle, how could you feel like you're above fighting in the UFC when you haven't really done much in 3 years? In the promotion, you know, in general, you haven't done much. Your biggest claim to fame is that John Jones ducked you. Other than that, you truly, really don't have a big fight that you have under your belt. The only thing that made it big is the fact that John Jones was looming in the wake and that you were getting overlooked and leapfrogged by Stipe Miocic. Other than that, you aren't this person you feel you are above and beyond fighting in the UFC. So I don't know. There's something fishy going on here for sure. For sure, there's something fishy. What's up, Jake and crew? What up, AD? Rower says, I take what I'm giving. Y'all haven't really started Perry Maxing yet. Oh, prey maxing. St. Finance goes, there wasn't a no contact order and the case was dropped. Yeah, don't compare me to John Jones. Shit, I didn't, homie. I wouldn't. You have 8 says they're sidelining him longer to look worse so they can make Cyril versus Pereira. I hear you. You have AIDS. If that's the case, I wish Aspinall would come out and say something, though. The fact that he hasn't said anything makes me think that's not the case. All right, I'll be right back. Give me a couple minutes. I got to take a piss. Shit, run up the likes on the stream, motherfuckers, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. All right? Okay, 1 minute. I'll be back. One more time, run up the likes on the stream. AIDS, like the stream, homie. AD, like the stream, homie. I think Shiloh, Rowe, and Easton have liked the stream. I know Otto already liked it. Everybody run up the likes on the stream. I saw one of them just go up again. Okay. You have 8 says, like in a perfect world for the UFC, they piss Aspinall off enough to where he just leaves and they promote Alex if he wins to champ. I think Aspinall is going to just leave, but I think that's ill-advised. Buyer seller says, what did I miss? Everything. You actually missed everything, buyer seller. You savages bullied Justin Gaethje so much he disabled his comments. Do you feel good about yourself? Yes. Honestly, I don't even I kind of got over Sneeko, bro. Sneeko actually annoys the fuck out of me. I don't know what you guys think about Sneeko, but I find him to be weird, bro. And he I don't know. I actually don't really like Sneeko that much. He speaks like he's smart, but it's very odd. You know, he speaks like he's smart, but I actually question his intelligence to some degree. What up, Castro? What up, chat? What up, Gravy? Justin Goichi. Franklin goes, got the TV going too, just can't like on it. No worries, Franklin. No worries. I don't know why Justin beefing with Strickland before the biggest fight of his entire career. You think he could be trying to sell the fight? Anthony Joshua goes, why don't I step over into their territory? They keep stepping into ours. I think that'll be the next thing we want to see. Sneeko had aura before he started streaming. I feel like Sneeko just likes to hop on like these controversial topics, and like he just I don't know. I don't really buy it. Sneeko is a disingenuous dork. It's kind of how I feel about him. I found him super cringe when he actually was like the Heil Hitler song by Kanye West, when he was like, "Oh, that's a beautiful song. It's a beautiful song." I was like, "Oh, this guy's fucking corny as hell. It's actually not a good song. Like, who would ever think that?" Yeah, it's I guess it's kind of funny in a way if you want to look at it like that. But a beautiful song is crazy. Oh, another prayer from Mike Perry. I do like these prayers from Perry. He goes, God, I thank you for this day. I thank you for my wife, Latori Gonzalez, the love of my life. She works so hard. When I go to the gym, I feel confident in my abilities. I'm crafty, and I thank the Lord for that. So much goes on. I hope God blesses the world so we can all enjoy some happiness. God bless our kids with healthy body and mind and spirits. Amen. Shit. Amen, Mike. Amen, homie. This is a banger fight. Bobby Green versus Terrence McKinney. That's a good fight. This dude is such a fucking Tom Aspinall shill. He actually pisses me off. I'm not even gonna lie. This guy Red Wolf is such a fucking pussy for Tom Aspinall. He probably likes me too to some degree. It's like, yeah, bro. Look, he got this thing pinned up here, right? His profile picture is him meeting Tom Aspinall. It's like, and now he's gonna speak on the situation because he thinks he's Tom Aspinall's like fucking, representative or something. I obviously like and respect both Bisping and Aspinall a lot, so seeing this and hearing they've seemingly fallen out is pretty gutting. First of all, the reason he hasn't quote unquote fought much over 3 years was because Jones held the division up for the majority of that and refused to fight him. Felder seems to have forgotten that. It's the explanation doesn't matter, bro. Right now, Tom seems to be doing the best thing for his own health. Do I want to see him come back as soon as possible to shove the doubters? Absolutely, but not at the risk of being physically compromised going into a fight and potentially losing an eye like Mike did by coming back too early and lying to doctors, even if that was pretty inspiring. I mean, I guess that's a fair point. The way the UFC have treated Tom the last couple of years is abhorrent, and the fact the perpetrator of the reason he's injured in the first place is being rewarded yet again as a joke. I think he's got every right to be pissed off. There's my 2 pennies, and all in all, this is a very sad state of affairs, to be honest. Interesting. Interesting. I don't think, you know, anyone was wondering what you thought about it, homie, but we read it out. Two Grizzlies fighting. His fucking feet. Bro, homie got back to his feet. That's crazy. Okay, so right. Damn, that bear got his whole cheek. This bear got this dude's whole fucking cheek. Bear on the left was the one who was on the bottom, by the way, at the beginning of this video. Dang, he's gonna eat that fucker. Damn. Bro, he's like ripping on the back of his neck skin. Bro, that was the one who was on bottom. The one who was on bottom won that shit. That was the one who was on bottom. The brown one started. Yeah, yeah. The gray one was on bottom. That's some good shit. I actually always, anytime a bear fight comes across a timeline, you gotta stop to watch it. Yo, he ripping his shit. Holy smokes, damn, bro, I know. That was crazy. This is gnarly. The gray one turned it around on gray. Yep, yep. AD goes, Jacob's commentary on Gaethje and Strickland, one of his best. Referencing Gaethje inability to leverage and unite with ally Quinta. Motherfucker saying he's American. Why the fuck he need to say that? It's like, bro, yeah, Justin Gaethje's an idiot. And like, he means nothing he says. So fuck him. Shout out to AD. Thanks for sharing your commentary on my commentary. I actually like reading it. He's actually winning now. Yeah, he was. Who you guys got? Bear number 1 or bear number 2? Bear Jitsu. I just bet on the one on the right. I saw East Infection also saying, haha, that guy is in love with Tom Aspinall. What the? Yeah, the guy's, it's super goofy, Gravy. Super goofy. Ricky says, just picked up some glitter bomb and peanut butter breath from the dispo next to my work tonight. Oh shit, I thought that sounded like I thought you picked up some like fucking bath salts or something. Good shit, Ricky. Good shit. Easton goes, bro, I hate Tom Aspinall simps so much. I'll be seeing YouTubers who aren't even British meat riding Aspinall. Like American dudes. Like, what the fuck? Shit beats me. St. Finance goes, I almost forgot about Aspinall. Is he coming back or what? No word on that, Fine has. That's why Bisping's calling him out. Yeah, that was some good Animal Planet shit, wasn't it? Otto goes, I like how he shrimp up, use his legs, and they got back up, and then he wouldn't turn around on him by taking a back take. Yeah, that was good shit. That was good shit. You got to kind of like, get your butt and your hips out, and build your base with your feet, and then kind of like, climb up your opponent, if you will. He turned it around. And I got you. I got you. Then he turned it around by a back take. Yeah, he did. Don't show Dana White this. He'll make it the next UFC/Power Slap and then underpay the Bears. This will be Dana's next thing. He's like, 2.1 million views. 2.1 million views? Shit. This does like 5 billion across all socials. It's bigger than the UFC. Bear fighting. The gray one got pissed and went sicko mode. Yeah, the gray one was the alpha for sure. That was a dope fight. I feel good after watching that. That was a good fight.
Let me get in my legs and get ready.
Francis versus Gray Bear, book it. Who wins, a bear or a lion? Or a bear or a gorilla? Who wins?
All right, Connor. Guess who I'm with?
Hey, we're looking for you. I got you. Don't worry. September drop on my future ass.
Hey, great last fight, big man. Great last. All right, Connor.
Bear Def beats both of them, says Easton. Gravy says, bears, bro, they got that extra skin to take damage, and they're so strong, claws and teeth. Aren't grizzlies over 1,000 pounds? Nah, yeah, bears do have the craziest claws and teeth. I think bears beat a gorilla. Yeah, you guys might be right. How thick is a bear's skin? It like they what's the word? They evolved like this. This is straight evolution. Like from running scraps so much with those claws, they had to get thick skin. How thick is bear's skin? The absolute size of these grizzly bear units. Damn, that's their claw. Back and flanks, this is where the skin is at its most dense, reaching 1 inch, 2.5 centimeters. Belly and face, skin gets notably thinner and more pliable around the stomach, groin, and face to allow comfortable movement. Coastal Kodiak and grizzly bears feature the heaviest hides, whereas young or smaller American black bear will have a much thinner, lighter hide. Okay, how thick is a grizzly bear hide? How thick is 1 inch? What's up, long ass day whipping the moving truck around? Shout out Tyler Betts. No worries, homie, no worries. Hope work was good. We just chilling, homie. We just chilling, looking at some shit. We just watched a crazy bear fight. The full layer, when including the autumn fat layer, the total thickness under the fur can exceed 5 inches. Interesting. Wait, let's ask AI. Who wins a fight? A grizzly bear or a silverback gorilla? A grizzly bear wins a fight against a silverback gorilla in almost every scenario. While the gorilla possesses immense strength, the grizzly bear has insurmountable advantages in size, weaponry, and predatory experience. Grizzly bear, here's the specs: 400 to 800 pounds. Silverbacks 350 to 450. Grizzlies 3 to 4 feet on all fours, up to 9 feet standing. Silverback gorillas 5 to 6 feet standing. Primary weapon 2 to 4 inch claws and a 1200 psi bite. Gorillas 2-inch canine teeth and immense grip. Oh, so gorillas really don't even have like knives for claws like bears do. 1200 psi bite, that's crazy. Thinner skin covered in standard fur, 1 inch thick hide plus heavy fat layer. Apex predator used to killing larger game. Herbivore that fights primarily to defend territory. Oh yeah. Yeah, grizzlies killing a silverback in almost every scenario. Okay, who wins a fight? A grizzly bear or a silverback gorilla? Oh, fuck, I just did the same thing. A grizzly bear wins a fight against a lion in the vast majority of matchups. Okay, so once again, 400 to 800 pounds for a grizzly, 330 to 500 for a lion, 9 feet tall standing for a grizzly, 8 feet tall standing for a lion. But lions don't really stand as much as grizzlies, do they? Keep that in mind. Weaponry: 2 to 4 inch non-retractable claws, 1200 psi bite. Lions have 1.5 inch retractable claws, 650 to 1000 psi bite. So still not as good as grizzlies. And their claws are retractable. Grizzlies are not. And grizzlies have a 2.5 inch longer claw. 1 inch thick hide, dense bone, heavy fat layer. Lions have thinner skin, muscular build, protective mane. Combat style: solitary brawler used to wrestling large targets. Lion team hunter reliant on pride coordination. Damn, bro. The grizzly is the fucking apex. It's the best of the best. The grizzly's the best of the best. It doesn't get any better than that. Bears are insane. Nothing beats an elephant. I mean, probably not, huh? Honestly, a bear might be able to kill an elephant. But one kick from an elephant, the bear's done. Just ask Grog Bear at 8 out of 10. Who would win, a grizzly or a saltwater crocodile? Well, yeast infection, we already know that one. Jaguars, they hunt crocodiles and shit. So I feel like a grizzly would take out a jaguar. Because those crocodiles are huge as well. We can ask. It's kind of a hard one, though, because they're like not on the same type of land, Who? Saltwater crocodile wins this fight in the vast majority of scenarios. Crocodiles weigh up to 2,200 pounds, while grizzly bears weigh 800. Croc's got a 3,700 psi bite. Grizzly's got a 1,200 psi bite. Armor is bony plates. For saltwater crocodiles, like they literally have armor. And then grizzlies have thick fur and hide. Crocodile has bulletproof hide. Crocodiles have a massive jaw, heavy tail. Grizzlies have 4 inch claws and powerful paws. So they gave that a tie. Interesting. Gravy said in the water croc, but croc maybe, but on land grizzly. What about in a mixed environment? Bigfoot beats both their asses. Is he real? Anyone found Bigfoot yet? In Southpaw. Grizzly can take damage to give damage. Dangerous as fuck. Yeah, they can. But honestly, I think those saltwater crocodiles beat a grizzly. It's a terrible matchup for him, Gravy. I feel like a gorilla would use half of its gas tank just trying to intimidate it, while the bear has already bit or clawed it twice. Actually, I think so. Just pounding on his chest. Not even a rhino can beat a grizzly, I bet. Oh, yeah, because they're bigger as well. But they're not as good at fighting. Is Perry reading chats yet? Jags kill caiman alligators. Those are smaller than crocs. That's true. That's true. I realize that as well. I don't know. Jaguars have the most powerful bite. Yeah, they do not hunt saltwater crocodiles, though. You're right about that. Our little gorillas have gas tanks. Who knows? Honestly, who knows? I think those bears got gas tanks, though. That's for damn sure. I don't believe it. Croc would gas out. Honestly, I think crocs are like so prehistoric, they don't even gas out. I don't fucking know who's Bigfoot. Shit, anyone found Bigfoot yet? Who's Joe? It is a bad matchup. I think it is. Stylistically, like that Croc's just going to lay there and just take all of it from the bear. The bear's not going to be able to penetrate it. And then the Croc's just going to whip that bear in the face with its tail and potentially knock out that bear. You know, one whip from the Croc in the bear's face, potential KO. Then he's out limp. And then the Croc's going to deploy a 3,700 PSI bite on him. I mean, death. Who wins between an alligator, a zookeeper that knows how to wrestle, an alligator? Who will win? Shit, probably the alligator. Low key, I do got photos of Bigfoot up by the beach casino near the woods. Tyler Betts, I gotta call Cap, homie. Tyler Betts got the $1 million Bigfoot photos. Bigfoot Silva? Probably. If you locked a rhino and grizzly in a cage, the rhino would win, I bet. Potentially. Who wins a fight? A rhino or a grizzly bear? Hello, I'm gonna send them in Discord. All right, Tyler Betts, send them over. Send them over. Tell me when you did. I'm gonna pull them up. Sasquatch Silva. One death roll on a leg and a bear's done. Yeah, true. True, Roro. Just completely will yank off that limb. Okay, so rhinoceros wins the fight 10 out of 10 times. Rhinos weigh 5,000 pounds. Grizzlies weigh 800. So we pretty much can just stop there. But top speed for a rhino, 35 miles an hour. Top speed for a bear, 35. So it's a tie. Rhinos have 2-inch thick skin. And bears have thick fur and a hide. But bears have a 1-inch thick skin. 2 foot to 5 foot solid horn. 4-inch claws and teeth. Yeah, so rhino, one impalement from the rhino's horn is instantly fatal, they say. 2-inch thick skin, rhino is virtually impenetrable, except for 4-inch claws will penetrate that. Rhino's up to 10 times heavier than a grizzly, though. Tyler Betts, you send the photos of Bigfoot in the chat yet? Or in the Discord? Peter Yawn sparring a random fan.
Где-то на живот, на живот. Лучше на живот. Ой, аккуратненько там. А здесь, брат, здесь. Чуть по животу можно нагрузить? Чуть можно по животу. Хорошо.
Why can't Peter hit him?
Похоже, блядь, зайдет. Пацана своя чуть на... Ой, блядь, братишка. Ты уже полностью Петропавловский.
Fighters are cool, bro. Kevin says Joe Rogan says Eagles are the superior athlete. Really? Really, Kev? I mean, I do fuck with Eagles. Eagles are superior athletes. I don't think they got anything on a grizzly bear, though, or else they would be taking them out, like, actively. If the rhino hit the initial ram, I'll give it to him, but I think the bear could do it if it could anticipate the attack. Honestly, I just think it's the danger factor, Roro. Even if the bear's anticipating the attack, it's going to be a long and dragged out fight. And one impalement from that horn, he's fucked. You know, if the grizzly ends up on his back, which is very possible because he's outweighed by 10 times his size, then you know, he ends up on his back and the rhino impales him once in the stomach with his horn, it's instant death. Haha, that Mike Perry tweet. Can't lie, I'm missing videos of Joe Biden. He may have been the funniest president I know. Yana Straight G. A rhino can toss a grizzly into the air. Yeah, with his horn too. Franklin says he not trying. Yeah, I realized Peter wasn't trying. I did notice that after about 30 seconds. Took me a second though. Miss that guy in the Biden mask. Ah, that's too good. That's an underrated comment. Larone and Losi and Kata were going back and forth online today. This was funny. More fighters should do this. I feel like the fact that fighters don't do this, they're kind of pussy.
Bro, you calling me?
They're kind of bitch made. If you don't do this, if you're an active UFC fighter and you never ran on Instagram live with another active fighter in your division and shit, you kind of pussy made with it. You kind of bitch made with it. You know? And not necessarily everybody, but shit, a large majority. Like what you scared of? You don't got the balls to hop on live? This is actually peak entertainment, that's why. Like, listen to this.
You calling me out and you can't beat Nathaniel Wood, bro. So it's like, come on,
Bro, because you are easy matchup, bro. You are a striker, right?
But easy matchup for you.
Yeah, let's be honest, yeah. Let's be honest, yeah. I'm just honest.
Hey, bro, you gotta stop smoking that good stuff, bro. You gotta stop smoking that good stuff, bro.
Hey, that's one of the reasons you didn't want to smoke with Nathaniel Wood, because I know the guy wanted that fight a long time.
Nathaniel Wood pulled out of the fight against me, bro. What are you talking about?
I respect you, but bro, you know, style make fights.
Bro, I know that, but you got to beat somebody, bro. You not beat nobody, bro. You got to beat somebody.
Don't worry, I'll come. Don't worry, bro.
Hey, Kia, this is the UFC. This is an octagon, bro. This is the UFC, bro.
That's what, bro. That's why you know yourself. I belong there. You know that, right?
Bro, I know you're good, but you're not top 5 level yet, bro. You're not top 5 level yet, bro. You're calling me out and you can't beat Nathaniel Wood, bro. So it's like, come on,
bro. Because you are easy matchup, bro. You are a striker, right?
But easy matchup for you.
Yeah, let's be honest, yeah. Let's be honest, yeah.
It's good. It's good. I like it. Imagine Animal Fight League and they lock bears with tigers. I hear you. That would be crazy. Lock polar bears with tigers. That would be wild, Kevin. It's like we gotta find out who the best bear species is and like the cat species, and then let's run the best against the best. Like let's run tigers, jaguars, lions together, and then let's run polar bears, grizzlies, you know, all black bears and shit. Let's run them all together, and then the best of the bears fight the best of the cat family. That'd be crazy. Let's put a rhino against a fucking elephant and just see what happens. Birds in general, superior athletes, even if prey animal, they're smart enough not to trust, quote unquote, smart or not. It's respectable. Yeah, shout out to the birds. Tyler Bet says, Discord not letting me send. I'm going to send them on Insta. Okay. That little back and forth with Lose and Kata and Lerone Murphy got me hyped. I'm not even going to lie about that. What up, bro? What up, Scott? What's poppin', homie? You made it, homie. I'm looking at my DMs right now, Tyler Betts. For the record. Free Strickland until it's backwards. Yeah, Scott, we rocking with Strickland, homie. Rewind to the beginning, bro. Rewind to the beginning. I straight cooked Gaethje. Dumbass Gaethje. Did you talk about Bisping turning on Aspinall? I did, Kevin. I did. You'll gotta rewind the stream. I did speak about it. I mean, I think Aspinall turned on Bisping first. Kevin, can I just say that? I think Aspinall turned on Bisping first. You know? Apparently, Bisping's been trying to reach out to Aspinall, and Aspinall has been like ghosting him or some shit like that. To the point where Felder made a joke, and he's like, well, you'll probably get a text now. He'll probably respond to you now. You know, Bisping saying, me and Aspinall used to be very close. We don't talk anymore. Crazy. Because Aspinall's been on Ariel's show at least twice since last October, since the eye injury. You know, Bisping told everyone who would listen, Aspinall was the next champ, the second coming of Jesus, basically. Bisping is the first ever UK champ. Bisping became champ, you know, and had a successful career after losing an eye. And it's like Aspinall doesn't want to have a relationship with him. You know? The fuck? Who the fuck does this guy think he is? And then it's like, and then you're going to stay buddy with Ariel at that? The hell is going on here? So, Gaethje staying in liquor until the very end, SMH. Yeah. Gaethje's not even a bootlicker, though, Scott. If you rewind the take, it's fine because you just hopped in here. But I'll just tell you, Gaethje's not even a bootlicker, bro. He's a self-serving fucking idiot. You know, he only cares about himself. He's only bootlicking because he's getting the opportunity, Scott. Otherwise, he could care less. Scott says, just got off work but had to tap in. Well, I'm glad you did. And that's why I'm giving you I'm saving you the trouble. But go back and rewind the stream, Scott. You'll enjoy it. You guys got to hear the take. 80 kid saying it's one of my best ever. Kevin says Aspinall turned on the sport. Kind of, yeah, kind of. I agree with everything Felder said, by the way, Kevin. I'll just tell you again. We're in a little bit of a repeat now. But Kevin, Felder goes, it just seems like the whole situation with Cyril Gahn got him real bitter, got him real angry. I 100% fully agree. It feels like he got real big real quick. I agree Tom got real big real quick. But again, it's from doing nothing. You know, it's because John Jones was ducking him essentially, and the UFC was doing him dirty. He got big from that, not from fighting. So I agree, he got big real quick. And then Felder goes, now he just thinks he's above and beyond fighting in the UFC. I do think that Aspinall thinks that to some degree. I think Aspinall, I don't think he thinks he's too big for the UFC, but Aspinall gives a vibe that he has other options outside the UFC, and I don't think he has other options outside the UFC. So I agree with Felder again. And then Felder goes like, dude, you haven't really fought much in 3 years. I agree. You haven't really fought much in 3 years. So like, how could you ever be above and beyond fighting in the UFC? Point blank, period. We already went over that. Redoing it for Kevin from Chicago. Gaethje. Oh, Franklin goes payday finally tomorrow. Running the 100 spot most likely. Damn, Franklin. Still no Cash App, but we'll respect YouTube. Nah, Franklin. Shit, Franklin. I'm gonna put the Cash App in there tomorrow, Franklin. I'll put the Cash App in the thing tomorrow. Or maybe I should put my Zelle or something. I don't fucking know. But, you know, Franklin's going to give me $100 dono. That's what it sounds like he's saying. Franklin, there's no pressure. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you make these promises, I feel bad because, like, shit, you could give me $5 and I'll be happy, Franklin. But, what's it called? I'll make a Cash App and put it in the description tomorrow. Just because we can't be bro, I'm going to get like $30 of that 100. That'll be a waste of your money. So, shout out to Franklin, though, for the support, homie. Shit, homie. I mean, like, all I could say is thank you, homie. The appreciation that you convey to me has been received, you know, and I hope you feel the same way. Aspinall's still untested. Yeah, he's still untested, Jew. And it's nothing against him. It's just like, stop acting like you're too big for your britches. Okay, Tyler Betts says, it's in Discord. I'll tell y'all the story if you can see the face. All right, Tyler Betts, let's see it. You guys gotta see these photos Tyler Betts just sent in. Tyler Betts, I ain't seeing nothing. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Hang on, let's pull the Discord up here. All right. Tyler Betts. Frankly goes, oh wow, does it sound like I have to unsub Aspie? I will in 1 second. Damn, Franklin's gonna unsubscribe to Tom Aspinall. Is that what he's saying? All breaks. Tyler, that's Woods. No gas, all breaks. Aspinall definitely has a smugness to him, like his feces don't smell. It's like, bro, where did you get that smugness from? Zoom in on the circles. Where's the Bigfoot? We're zoomed in fully, Tyler Betts. I mean, there's a little something there, like right here. It's a nice little deer. A little baby deer, Bigfoot looking to hunt him. Those tattoos alone, a whole troll. Tattoos weak. Tom Aspinall does get, like, he got the most bad boy tattoos and he's like the most goody two shoe ever. It's kind of funny. Well, shout out Tyler Betts for this. Wait till Tom gets to boxing and realize he'd be a nobody there and be outskilled and won't get anywhere. I know. I know. Yeah, I need cash. Shout out Franklin. We all need cash, homie. Oh, I need Cash App. I got you, Franklin. I'm gonna do it tomorrow, Franklin. That's gonna be like my thing to do tomorrow. Before I get on, I'm gonna do Cash App. Should I download Cash App now? Let's get the process started. I already had Cash App in the past. It's asking for my card information. I'll just set that up later. But I'll get that going tomorrow, Franklin. Shout out to you, homie. Thanks for all the support again. Tyler Betts says it was on the res by the ocean, known Bigfoot hotspot. Pulled into the casino and that deer was frozen still. Left like 2 to 3 hours later and the deer was in the exact same spot. I heard noises too. Either Bigfoot or a native ghost bearded man. Interesting. Interesting, Tyler. I mean, I like to believe things like that. I do. Here's another circle right here. It's another circle. Shout out Tyler Betts for sending it in. A lot of people wouldn't admit to that because they'll think we think they're crazy. The deer is like, what the fuck you looking at? He can't see me. All right. All right. I think that'll probably be the stream. A little 2-hour stream on the evening for you boys. He's screaming in the other pic when I squared up with the deer. LOL, another circle. Too good. Shout out to all the boys watching though, much appreciated. How is it? Again, I'm just gonna say it. How is it that one of the better streams? I won't say this is the best stream in the last 100 days, but this is definitely one of the better streams in the last like 100 something days for sure. So good shit, good shit. I'm glad I went live. All right, time to rewatch the stream on my own and see how I did. You know, rate the performance. The Justin Gaethje cooking. Tyler, can you send another picture with his figure traced? Who's Edmund fighting? Brandon Allen, Jew. That would be. I would love to see Tyler Betts do an outline tracing the figure. That would be too good. Roro's pretty good with that shit. Roro was asking for sources last night. Now he's like, can you trace the outline of the figure? All right, boys. Peace out, though. Peace out. Peace out to Jew. Peace out, Roro. Peace out, Tyler Betts. Peace out, Gravy. Peace out, AJD. Peace out, Franklin. Peace out, Roro. Peace out, Kevin from Chicago. Peace out, Scott. Peace out, Saint Finehas. Stay out of jail, homie. Stay out of jail. I love you, homie. Shout out Double Worlds. Shout out my man's Otto. Shout out Gravy. Shout out to Easton. Shout out to my man Shiloh. Shout out to AD Kid. Shout out You Have AIDS, homie. Good to see you in here. Shout out my man's Ricky LaFleur. Shout out Brown guy. Shout out to Dundaughter for gifting those membies earlier. And shout out to Tuxedo Mask for giving out some donos earlier. Much appreciated. Good stream tonight. Shout out America First for popping through for a little bit. Shout out Space Gift for popping through. Shout out Tony Sal. Shout out my man Sean Baller. And that's all I can see. All right, peace out, boys. Peace out. I'll see you guys. Well, shit, I'll see you when I see you, huh? We can't really say tomorrow no more. If we got news tomorrow, I'll see you. If not, I won't. But shit, I'll probably end up going live because shit, Franklin's saying he's dropping $100 dono and shit. So why would I miss out? I'll probably end up being live because of that. Myco says listening to you as I work out. Peace out, Myco. Shout out to you, homie. Thanks for always tuning in. And shout out buyer seller as well if I missed that one. Kevin from Chicago, shout out Real Street Soldier. I'll rewind and watch the full stream. My man, thank you. I think you'll enjoy it. All right, peace out, boys. I'll probably see you tomorrow.